congratulations on becoming IOC president.
Thank you.
You could be in power till 2037. What will success look like? How will sports fans around the world see the Olympics change or be as relevant during your leadership?
Well, there's so many good things and opportunities that we have right now to leverage off of and to work off of. Some of the legacies that I would like to see would be ensuring that we're reaching the younger generation. From my continent alone, in the next few years, we're going to have 500 million people under the age of 35. So how is the Olympic movement going to embrace them and inspire them and share our values with them? Really, that for me, I know that because the Olympic Games in that way paved and shared that with me as a 9-year-old girl watching the Barcelona 92 Olympic Games, getting inspired by it. I want to be able to give that back and that experience back to other young people. But I also want to go further. I want to ensure that we can find these young, talented athletes from around the world and we can give them an opportunity to be identified and to have training and be, connected to the best coaches in the world. And that's all going to be driven by embracing technology. And I think that is going to be really a game changer in the next few years.
Is it also about embracing the sports that are most relevant to younger generations, maybe things like paddle that have taken off and putting those in the Olympics, and maybe moving some of the summer sports to the Winter Games, those indoor summer sports?
I think what I really want to do is be able to sit and take a bit of a pause. I always think when there's a big change, you can sit and reflect over everything that has been achieved and really look at where it is that we want to go. If we are wanting to embrace younger generations, how are we going to do that? What is the most relevant to them? Are we speaking in their language? Are we on their platforms? How are we embracing them? And that will come down to the sports program and many other things. So it's not just about trying to answer one specific call from the young people. It's really listening to them to say, what are they expecting of us and how are we going to answer that? And then coming back and looking at the movement in its entirety.
Many major places have never held the Olympics. Africa, the Middle East, India. Is that a priority for you to ensure they get the Games? And will you designate the 2036 and 2040 Games even to just those regions that haven't had Olympics? Well,
we've got the Future Host Commission, which has very good ways of working at the moment. There's a few slight adjustments that I'd like to make in terms of involvement of the IOC members. That was something very clearly articulated to me in this campaign. But new regions and embracing new regions, as I said before, will be a part of what I would like to see. I think if we can embrace new regions across the entire movement, it opens us up for so many different opportunities, including revenue growth, including being able to reach new audiences. And again, that embrace, that bringing the Olympic Games to the world is really a focus that I would like us to have.
Some have accused, perhaps, the IOC of double standards on when it comes to banning countries. There's been such a focus on Russia in recent years. You've pointed out that there are wars also across Africa as well. Does that mean you're against banning countries from the Olympics over conflicts?
I am, but I think that it is you have to take each situation into account. What I would like to do is set up a task force where this task force tries to set out some policies and some guiding frameworks that we as the movement can make decisions when we are brought conflicts. As I said, we have conflicts in Africa and they're horrific at the moment. So this is not going away, sadly. So how are we going to protect and support athletes? How are we going to ensure that all athletes have the opportunity to come to the Olympic Games? And our responsibility is also ensure once those athletes are all there that they're safe, right? And that we protect and support them during the Olympic Games. So there's a fine balance, but ultimately I believe that it's the best for our movement to ensure that we have all athletes represented.
So you want Russia back by the 2026 Games?
We're going to have that discussion with a collective group, as I'd said, with the task force.
One of the big issues is on gender eligibility. World Athletics are looking at swab testing. It's been called undignified. Some those see it perhaps as necessary to protect the female category. Is sex testing right for the Olympics?
Again, this is a conversation that's happened, and the international federations have taken a far greater lead in this conversation. What I was proposing is to bring a group together with the international federations and really understand each sport is slightly different. We know in equestrian, sex is really not an issue, but in other sports it is. So what I'd like to do again is bring the international federations together and sit down and try and come up with a collective way forward for all of us to move.
There has been some focus after your election on your role in Zimbabwe in the government, with the government accused of suppressing human rights and political freedoms. Should people be concerned you're now IOC president?
No. I have always been a very proud Zimbabwean. And when I was asked to step into this role, I took time to really consider it. I knew that it would come with different, thoughts and feelings, but I wanted to try and create change in my country. I wanted to try and make things better for athletes in my country, and we're doing that. We're working on strengthening pieces of legislation that have never been there before. And these are things that I don't believe I would have been able to achieve on the outside.
Finally, you are the first female president, but it sounds like you don't want to be defined by your gender.
No, I don't. I'm very proud to have accomplished this, but I've done this with incredible women and men behind me, supporting me and believing in me that this is the right time for our movement. And it shows that we are moving and we're changing and we're global and we're diverse and we represent everybody. And that messaging is way more important for me, to show that we're inclusive.
Thank you so much for your time, and good luck with the
Thank you.
years ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.